The Gospel of Luke, chapter 2. This verse, is the famous of preachers. Verse 1. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. End quote. What the truth was, could be taxed. For in reality, the poor were already overtaxed. But lords like to have hills of gold and silver, so they can buy cheaply made products from lands like China and the rest of the not at all free lands, made from slave or near slave labor. We still gotta wait to see what China does with all the silver. Smartest thing would be space technology. Anyhow, Joseph, who didn't have sex with Mary till after Jesus was born, had to go to Bethlehem. That's where David was born. Like it mattered. Well, the angels do some declarations. Go up a hill and tell some shepherds to go pay reverence to the new king in a manger. And this is suddenly an icon. Christ in a manger. As if it mattered. It didn't. Mark doesn't even mention the birth. Matthew has a house. Most bloody likely a relative. On account all Jews are related. So the story goes. Well, the people wondered what the big deal was. And the wise men forgot to show up. But don't get hung on details. The writers knew what they were trying to do. They just weren't much like Jesus. And again, we are reminded of the laws of Moses, as if he really existed, and was a Jew, wrong in two cases. Because it was written, man, that is no reason. Well, the first male from a virgin is holy. Now this only means up until when the Lord, or sometimes husband, well, we know how it works. Verse 32, a light to lighten the Gentiles, and the glory of the people Israel. End quote. This is how it is, sort of. Something else one must remember. War is business. Verse 35 is an interesting quote. A sword shall pierce through thine own soul also, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. End quote. But I won't explain. Luke tells us Simeon surprised Mary and Joseph and his mum with what they had intended for Jesus, which, I must say, is a crock of dung. It's easy to have foresight 200 years after the fact, with churches taking over the scenery. Blah, 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 Jerusalem, grace of God. And 12 years go by, and not only has Luke dropped the silly wise men, he also dropped living in Egypt, which is a mistake, because it was written in the script. He must have spilt wine on it. And when they all go home after some old ritual pilgrimage sacrifice feasts and gifts to the synagogue as per rules of Moses, they forget Jesus. And he's hanging with the priests having a chat about the pretty Torah and the blood sacrifices and the incest and genocide, and everyone is having a nice time. 2 days later, Mom and Dad come. Where have you been? We thought we lost you after traveling a day. Right.